In this video, we'll take a deeper look at the track builder, and specifically we'll look at the beat editor. Now, when we add groups or sections to the track builder, you can click on any one of them and it will open up the beat editor. You can see here it says beat editor. It'll let us know the total number of seconds, and we see how many beats there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 in this intro. And if I open up something like a section, we'll see a lot more information. You'll see beats 1 through 240. There's 240 beats here. And you can see that we have 60 measures. So the taller little ticks here are measures. So you can see that we have the information up here that this is a track that's in 4/4 time, which means that it has 4 beats per measure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. And so we see here that the taller, where we see the numbers, that's measures. And we have the ability to drag either on the far right or the far left and sort of just really get rid of any content here. We'll take a look at that in a second. Just want to point out that each group has different measures, numbers, and so forth. This is a section, and so it just has the 8 measures that's included in this verse section here. And I have the ability once again to drag down. Now we can drag down to the beat, but you really normally want to avoid that. Unless you're a professional or you have a lot of music experience. But typically it doesn't sound very good musically if you transition from something that goes just in between the beats here to the ending. It's going to sound abrupt. And typically you want to land when you're reducing the number of measures overall. You want to land on a measure typically, and not only that, but it's almost always more musical when you do it according to 2 measures. It just works out that way normally, and so it's not always the case, but you'll see that is very common. Now, what I can do is I can look at again the verse here, and I can see that my ending, if I see the time here, is 12 seconds. So if I want to audition what that's going to sound like, transitioning from leaving only 6 measures here and going to the ending, I can go ahead and bump ahead to that point. You can see my total time is 2 minutes and 26 seconds once I made that change. And I want to go a little bit before 12 seconds, so I can go to something like 2 minutes and 10 seconds or something like that to listen to that. So I can just drag here and I'll get pretty close. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I'll go ahead and listen to that. So that sounds pretty decent and nice and smooth, seamless transition. That's what we're going for. And so you want to be able to do that here. And so just bear that in mind when you're adjusting the beat editor for your various sections. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. Just go ahead and put this one back up here. You see that I can drag, I can even, get rid of total sections here. You can see that what I've done here is I've gotten rid of the entire section here that's called tag no drums. And I can do that for all of them. So basically what we're trying to do usually is you might be doing something like, you might need to go down to something like 1 minute and 45 seconds or something. So I'm going to keep coming down here and getting rid of some of this until I get close. And so in this case, I'm at 1 minute and 46 seconds. And that could be close enough to where I can use the fade out region or the fade in region features, which we'll look at in the next video, and get precisely to that point. Whenever I'm happy with whatever I've got, I can audition it before I actually render it. Now you can also render it. You can either audition before or after. So I'll go ahead and render this, and it creates a waveform up here. And if I want to check out what that sounds like, I can go again. I'm looking for that ending here. So at 146, and I have an ending of 12 seconds. So I'm looking for something like 134. So I can go up here, and you can see that I have a readout here. So I can just pop ahead and get close to that so I can hear that transition. I'm just going to go a little bit back. And before I export it out, I just want to confirm that I have nice seamless transitions between my various sections, and particularly the ending. That's normally when things can break apart the easiest. And so I'm typically I recommend you go ahead and check that out. But coming back here, I want to point out that you can also take off from the beginning. So that sometimes it's going to be better to come back. I'll go ahead and restore that to the full length, It might be better to take it off the beginning, so I can come up here and go to, some off there. And because that here I know that the ending is going to transition really, really well. And typically in the beginning, especially if you have vocals over the top, you're just it just starts, and you don't have to worry about a awkward transition as much if you're taking it off from the beginning instead of from the end. That's one thing that you can do, but that basically the track or the beat editor allows you to make adjustments like that in order to get the music track, not just the duration that you need, but also get rid of things that you may not want. So for example, the verses may be really what you prefer and you don't like it. It does sort of slow down here a little bit, particularly in this tag no drums. And so you may just want to totally get rid of that. So you might, go ahead and get rid of that. And also have some off the front. And so things like that, those are decisions that you can make using the beat editor. And once you're happy with it, you can go ahead and render the track, and notice that you can have as many variations as you want. So you can create a bunch of variations and test them out with your video and see what works best to get a perfect track for your video.